In just 10 months, we have achieved a lot. It was an exciting moment. We established truly a dream team of leaders on blockchain, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, data policy, drones, autonomous vehicles, precision medicine, and the environment, and agile governance. We have today 37 partners, including the founding partners Sompo and Suntory, Microsoft, SAP, Palantir, Turkcell, Kaiser Permanente, and Reliance Holdings. I was really excited when we launched the center and got the attention and the adoption from around the world. Today, I am 10 times, 100 times more excited because with the active participation of the Japanese government and active collaboration with Asia Pacific Institute, we're announcing the opening of our very first sister center in Japan, in Tokyo.
I think one is obviously reactionary to the other. Like you mentioned, I think the Biden administration is a little easier to reference as far as like if the Trump campaign thinks it's as important as they seem to, with kind of constantly talking about crypto right now, calling himself the crypto president, whatever that might mean, at David Sachs's dinner last week. And then, speaking of mining in the U.S. and whatnot, like the administration, the campaign is saying they will go quite hard. And then the current administration seems to be saying, well, okay, maybe we'll start accepting donations in crypto. Let's talk to Coinbase. Let's start to open the conversations a little bit, but we're not hearing anything specific from the president right now on what he likes or even dislikes, right? It's more people under him. When you look at how important it's becoming in foreign countries, that helps kind of point towards what should happen here and what I think is trailing. So when you see El Salvador's president purchasing Bitcoin and talking about what they're going to change at a country level, and then A16Z opening offices in London and Chris Dixon posting pictures with the prime minister over there and saying, look, if London is going to be open to us, we'll come work over there. Like, we'll open an office. So I think in the U.S., when you've got 60 to 80 million people, depending on which data you're looking at, that have crypto in a wallet, and that, through the ETF inflows, I've seen, anywhere between 70 and 80% of those purchases are self-directed retail as well. Like, people want to have crypto themselves and they want access to it. And I don't know if we've ever had a topic where 60 to 80 million people cared about it and the incumbent president didn't care about it, right? If it was manufacturing, if it was labor, if it was schools, if it was hospitals, 60 to 80 million people is a large enough chunk of the country that it should be a major campaign topic. Bull markets cause statements of excitement that can't be fully expected to be acted upon, right? And I think there's a lot of things being said by one side right now with not much being said by the other side. So if you're going to just take the law of percentages a little bit, in an ideal world, if you had a Trump presidency and he's saying this many things, and you have a Biden presidency who's saying this many things that he'll do for crypto, even if the Trump campaign only converts on 10 to 20% of what they're saying right now. And keep in mind, I think the most important thing that typically gets missed by the average consumer is checks and balances. Our country's built with checks and balances for a reason. So even a president can put forward 100 things they really like, and if only 10 of them go through, the 10% conversion rate is not exactly they only fulfilled 10% of what they said. It's like that's what got through a bipartisan Senate and House, and both sides had to have agreed to a certain amount of these things. So I think in the last week, it's important to note that President Trump has mentioned everything from let's get rid of income tax and go full to tariffs, all the way to let's keep Bitcoin mining fully in the U.S. Like, not all of these things can or will happen, obviously. But I think the way it's being seen and the way I'm seeing it received is more positive towards crypto, means one side is more likely to actually do something useful as far as stablecoin bills go, or allowing for ETFs to pursue further angles towards consumers having crypto and not being scared of what might happen next.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're in the Cash App. And we have Trump versus Biden debate on June 27th. But we see the politicians across the globe are all talking about crypto. Plus, we're seeing regulation across the globe, especially when it comes to stablecoins. And we know we had Trump says he won't allow a CBDC, but guys, we know the central banks already have this CBDC not only tested, but it is ready to go. Remember, stablecoins and CBDCs keep the central banks in control, and blockchain gives the NWO the all CNI. Chainlink is going to be pulling all the data from these blockchains and giving it to Swift. So therefore, they'll know you better than you know yourself. And since we have the election, of course, we're going to have deep fakes, all type of fake articles. Right now, it's pretty easy to see whether you're reading a fake article or watching a fake video. But guys, once they turn on these supercomputers, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And when it comes to all these social media platforms, who runs the platforms? Algorithms and bots. Remember, they kept saying they wanted to get rid of the bots. Guys, they want the bots to take over. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, that World Economic video is about 6 years old. And now we see Microsoft again going into Japan, investing $2.9 billion. And guys, remember, they brought the leaders to San Francisco to plan out the fourth industrial revolution, where they want the robots, algorithms, and drones to take the economy over and the sheep to go inside the metaverse. And we know Japan's population is old, but guess what? That's what they want. They want low population, so therefore they bring in the machines. Larry Fink already told us the plan. Remember, when it comes to the crypto teacher, I don't talk about conspiracies. I let you hear it from the horse's mouth. The crypto teacher gives you the truth, nothing but the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. But never forget, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not there, because they reject it. It's right at their fingertips. But unfortunately, the sheep stay focused on things that don't matter. You have the Roman circus going on, and they're going to be coming with that free bread, while the sheep go inside the metaverse getting that free money. But little do they know that money is programmable, and when they go into that metaverse, they'll be able to get downloaded. And if you're able to get downloaded, you're able to be deleted. The brain is nothing but software. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We will ensure that Ukraine has what it needs to free Kiev from Russian occupation, which has lasted for 10 years.
That was not President Biden speaking about the Russia-Ukraine war. It was a deepfake that was circulating back in March, and it could be just one of many more, as we're less than 5 months away from the presidential election. States, for their part, have been trying to fight those fakes. 16 already have laws on the books, with more than a dozen others on track to do the same. But how effective are these laws in combating deepfakes, and how difficult is it to actually identify them?
To try and use other kinds of technologies other than AI. The thing about that video is it was first not altered, but the dimensions was changed by the RNC, was picked up by the New York Post, spread broadly around, I think, at 1.3 million hits. Guess what? They have reputational risk, and that shouldn't have happened. You know, when you hear the explanation of what President Biden was doing, it makes perfect sense that he was watching something off in the distance, but that makes it look like he was staring at nothing. And so, you know, I call on the DNC, the RNC, and all the legitimate political organizations to stop it. I mean, if you want to play a video, but make sure that it hasn't been altered. The problem with AI is that it is so intuitive and most people can use it. And so it can really fall in the hands of a lot of nefarious actors, people who don't have reputational risk that we can't call to the carpet, especially foreign actors who may have a stake in this outcome. And so this, I think, it goes back to common sense. You are not going to have an easy way to figure out whether this is real or not. I always tell people, if somebody wants you to look at this and say, isn't this horrible? You should automatically think, you know, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe I need to find out if that's actually what happened and what the voices actually said.
$2.9 billion of investments, your biggest ever in Japan so far. How does Japan fit into the overall Microsoft business strategy?
So the plan is a four-part plan. So the $2.9 billion investment in the data centers. There's also a reskilling plan of 3 million citizens of Japan. I'm particularly interested in the upskilling of women. We need more women in tech. We need more females in the development world and engineering world. So I'm very excited that we'll be doing that over 3 years with various partners in the ecosystem. I'm also very excited about the fact that we will now open a Microsoft Research Center, first of its kind, to do pure research. And I am really excited that they will focus on the biggest problems of Japan, like aging. We are a leading country in terms of how fast we're aging, and I would love our researchers to come up, using the power of AI to help aged lives be better in the future. So I'm very excited. And the fourth one, is cybersecurity. You can't use AI without security. It's security, 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 and then you get to use AI. So we are working with the government to make sure we use AI responsibly, securely, and safely. Government is that generative AI is supposed to grow our economy by 6 points in 2025. You don't see many other drivers of that kind of growth in our economy. So I'm very excited. I think the possibilities are, frankly, limitless, and this is an opportunity for all of us in Japan and worldwide to use the best of the technology to apply it to growth.
Shrinking demographics. These countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries and the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations.
We're often asked, we're doing so well now, I think it's Microsoft, we're going to conquer the world. And I think the answer is no. There's so much opportunity here for many, many players.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold. I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, if new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.